About what changes you have to make to the car at first pit stop.
Somebody's very, very high off the corner over there.
It's body to body, I thought. A lot of new things in NASCAR Racing 2004. The series sponsor, of course, Nextel. We've talked already today about a new generation of tires. And Dave Burns, there's a lot more new on pit road for this race as well.
That is Sunoco, the new official fuel of NASCAR. They've come in to give fuel all year long to these teams, fuel that they can trust for its quality, and that it will stay the same. And I tell you what, they have a lot of work to do down here today, because fuel runners from every team will be bringing their dump cans down here and getting them filled all day long. And the dump cans are new too. They added an extra gallon to them this year. They're 12 instead of 11. And the guys that haul those up and gas the car on pit road, well, those weigh over 90 pounds now. It's not an easy job, and they'll be some of the busiest people on pit road today.
All right, now these cars I'm just watching, they're starting to move around a lot more, Benny. These cars are starting to slide around. Look like the 7-car Jimmy Spencer, his car's not working really good. He was up there in the top 10 a little while ago, slid back. This is where the handling is really going to start showing.
The Spencer started 40th and worked his way up to about the top 10, but now you're right, he's starting to work his way back.
And he did pit on that last caution, so he's doing that after stopping. That's pretty impressive. Let's check out our Singular Wireless Race Talk poll early in this Daytona 500. Got a lot of drivers who've been here for a lot of years who've never won the race. Which of these drivers do you think has the best chance to end his 500 winless streak?
We should have showed this earlier, huh?
Yeah, we can mark one off the list.
Any other one of those three guys got a good shot.
Cast your ballot. We'll check out your thoughts a little bit later on. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has led every lap of the Daytona 500 so far, but he's not very much ahead of Tony Stewart. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Wow, this could be the guy. I mean, he's smart, funny, good looking, and he obviously flosses. Okay, so why isn't he married?
Antique order. We'll have 2 double cheeseburgers.
Well, there you go. He's a control freak. Well, at least with the dollar menu, I can make my own choices. He'll have a double cheeseburger and fries. I'll have a McChicken and a parfait.
Ooh, a control freak.
What's the difference between here and here? According to my national wireless plan, here there's no charge for roaming. But here, I get slammed. Nothing. Big bill. If you can't see the line, how are you supposed to know when you crossed it?
With the Singular Nation plan, you never pay roaming or long distance, wherever you use your phone, however you use it. Plus, you get rollover and 5,000 nationwide mobile-to-mobile minutes.
I call it my I know exactly what I get plan.
Singular Nation, another reason Singular fits you best.
You got ID? Okay. Nothing goes better with leftovers than some ice-cold Pepsi. It's the cola.
Dear Darryl, you were voted most popular driver in '89 and '90, but I must admit, back in the '70s, I booed you. Can you ever forgive me? I'm Rocky McMurray from New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Hey, man, no hard feelings. Sincerely, Darryl Walter.
Toyota, the newest member of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and proud of it.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's all the incentive you need this President's Day weekend to make it happen at home. Where you can get no payments, no interest for 12 months on any purchase, store-wide of $299 or more. Just use your Home Depot or Expo credit card. Whether it's flooring, blinds, or name brand appliances, the Home Depot has everything you need to make a long weekend a productive one. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
NBC's coverage of the Daytona 500 is brought to you by New Levitra. New choice, here now, ask your doctor today. By the all-new Toyota Tundra Double Cab, not just big, life-sized. And by McDonald's.
just completed the first 50 miles of the 46th Daytona 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading a 4-car breakaway from the rest of the pack. Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, and Kevin Harvick included in that group. Harvick, impressive running up to the 4th place, because remember, he pitted under the caution back at lap number 8.
Oh, Casey Mears, 41 car, slow on the apron of the racetrack.
Right front, Benny, right front down.
Oh, man.
So the
doesn't look like it's...
Hey, 23 laps. Could it be that the right front tire is worn, that the balance is not correct on this car?
Now don't forget that they, here at Daytona and on most of the larger tracks in NASCAR, they run an inner liner, like an old tube inside a bicycle tire. In case you have a flat at 190 miles an hour, it's something there to keep you from going completely down on the rim and help you from having a big crash. Bill?
Well, this hurts coming in all by yourself under green. Right side tire started to roll forward a little bit, so he must have taken his foot off the brake. They come around to the left side, put on the left side tires. They'll send him back out, top him off with fuel. He's out of sequence, away from the pack. This could be a long day.
Now we just got to hope and pray that all these other cars pit before a caution flag should come out.
Hey, Benny, let me ask you something. What about the guys that didn't stop under that caution if this stays green?
Well, you're right. If they pit, then the caution flag comes out. They could be a lap down, including Dale Earnhardt Jr. Bill, check that right front tire for us, will you?
Tell you what, I'm so impressed with Kevin Harvick. He's just taken 3rd spot away from Jimmy Johnson.
Well, he's got 10 lap new tires than anybody else up there, and we talked about the tire issue the whole time we've been down here. Going to make a big difference.
He restarted 18th when we went back under green at lap number 11. Jimmy Johnson slipped back a position to 4th when Harvick made that pass. Matt, how about the 48?
Well, Harvick was making that pass. Jimmy Johnson let him go. He felt like the 29 was being a little impatient this early on, so he shouldn't lose his patience. They're going to pit about 8 more laps. Jimmy said the car was running about 240 as far as the water temperature. They were going to pit under that first caution. Decided not to, Bill.
Matt, all 4 tires on the 41 appear to be okay. So maybe it was a feel thing, but especially the right front, they all look to be okay. Team's still looking at them now.
But there again, you come off the corner, you get yourself in the right position, and like you talked about.
Trouble, got another smoker. It's Jeff Burton.
Oh my goodness, 2 of the Roush Yates engines.
A lot of smoke out of Oathall, a lot. Here all the way to the bottom. Check your brakes here, good. Check your brakes.
The NBA All-Star game on TNT machine is just had a double dribble.
Yes, it did.
Hey, Benny.
Yeah.
Remember we talked to the 16 bunch this morning? Yeah. They had that problem with Biffle's motor yesterday, and all the Roush guys went back and changed those bolts we were talking about.
Exactly. Greg Biffle broke a rocker stand bolt yesterday, so Doug Yates this morning changed bolts on all the 8 engines they had here.
Jeff Burton to pit road safely. We stay under green.
That's certainly going to make the other teams nervous right now that have the same engine combination,
I guess. Kevin Harvick in 3rd, trying to run down the 2nd place driver, Tony Stewart. Farther back, Jeff Gordon sliding up the racetrack, trying to pick up a spot. And losing a spot there, Kurt Busch sliding in front of Jeff Gordon. That would be for 6th and 7th places.
There's Michael outside of Jeff Gordon. Looks like he's going to take that spot pretty easily.
All right, so Gordon losing a couple positions here. We should be coming up on some green flag pit stops for some of these guys that didn't pit before. So let's take a break. We'll come back in time for the visits to pit road. Earnhardt Jr. leads the 46th running of the Daytona 500.
Every crew member living on 3 hours sleep, we pledge to trim 100th of a second off the next lap. To our fans who drive all night to cheer us to victory, we pledge to go 3 wide into the turn without fear. To the legends whose draft we follow, we pledge to take your line down the back straightaway. To every kid whose favorite number is 48, we pledge to trade paint with the best of them. The guy in the tower, we pledge to always run wide open. We are Lowe's, And this is our pledge. Lowe's, proud sponsor of Team 48, and everyone who plans all week to finish strong on Sunday.
Here's the idea. Never forget your past. And remember, you honor a sport best by honoring its traditions. But most important, nobody ever got anywhere running in reverse. Nextel, proud to be fans.
Neither cold nor heat, nor wind, nor rain, nor dark of night have kept Matt Kenseth and Ford from their appointed rounds. The 2003 NASCAR Drivers' Champion is Matt Kenseth. What else would you expect from the guys who make the official truck of NASCAR?
Back live at Daytona, trouble getting to pit road. We talked about it earlier. Bobby Labonte is out in the grass while the rest of the leaders come to get service.
Yep.
Marty.
Michael Waltrip said, free me up just a little bit. I'm a little bit tight. Bobby Labonte pulls in his stall safely behind him. Half a pound out of the right front, Dave.
Tony Stewart's car was a little loose on entry, but pretty neutral. They decided to make no chassis changes for fresh tires and fuel for Tony. Bill?
Earnhardt Jr. chasing the car at both ends, but he said no changes. Wanted to make sure he pitted with the 20, Matt.
A great stop by Jimmy Johnson's crew. A chassis adjustment. His car was tight on lane exit. 4 tires.
Boy, going to cost Bobby Labonte. We talked about it earlier. Getting on a pit lane. So tough to get the car woed down sometimes without locking up the front tires.
He's kind of cut out of the herd at this point with no drafting help. Kevin Harvick is the new leader. Here comes Sterling Marlin and some others to pit road. There's Harvick. Check out that rush to pit road again. Watch Bobby Labonte.
And the pylon that I talked about earlier that you got to be between, he cleaned that pylon out, just ran right over it. Says, okay, I can make my pit. Let me go across pit road here.
That's a long way to the pit.
Dave?
Elliott Sadler is in. They changed 4 tires, and he's already gone. No chassis adjustments.
Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd also in, Bill.
And they had trouble with the left rear, trouble with the lugs on the left rear. Long stop from Ricky, air pressure adjustment and chassis adjustment. He could not hold the car in the middle of the track, kept drifting up to the wall.
Ricky Craven and Jimmy Spencer also leaving after green flag pit stops. There's Spencer in the 7.
So these guys going a lap down.
Yeah, that's the thing now. Kevin Harvick stopped at lap 8 along with a number of others, so they can run that much farther before they have to pit. And if the caution comes out now, all these guys who just pitted under green have got a problem. Marty.
Alan, Bobby Labonte said nothing about missing pit road. When he left pit road, all he said is, how bad is it? His crew chief, Michael McSwain, said, don't worry about it. The valence has rolled under just a little bit, but we should be fine.
Trouble, turn 4. Got a car into the wall. Derek Cope.
Out in the wall, turn 4.
Boy, there's that yellow they didn't need.
Oh, boy, I'm telling you. Oh. The junior stays on the lead lap.
Caution flag is out. The 1990 Daytona 500 winner has hit the wall up in turn 4.
Well, great break for Harvick, Gordon, and boys.
Let's see. Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson. They're all going to stay on the lead lap. Michael Waltrip as well. Here he comes. And there he goes. Crunch.
Can't tell what caused that.
Tell you what, that's luckily a one-car accident with this pack of cars coming up behind him.
He lost it way, way up there.
Oh, he just who's that he bounced off of? Might have been Scott Riggs.
But it happened way, way back up there between 3 and 4 when he started losing it.
Yeah. When he came back down the track, he bounced off of somebody and then went back up toward the outside wall. I think it was the 10 car of Scott Riggs. what this car, it is, in fact, Riggs just drives by. He's got some pretty significant damage on the right side of his machine, so that's who it was. See all these cars just going by the pace car. The pace car will come out and pick up the leader, who is Kevin Harvick. So Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Michael Waltrip, Jamie McMurray, Kurt Busch, and it looks like Greg Biffle all managed to stay on the lead lap at that caution by getting off pit road just in front of Kevin Harvick. That was close.
On board with Dale Jarrett as he drives up on the accident. His spotter has warned him there's trouble. He drives down on the apron of the racetrack and luckily gets by.
Caution is out now. Caution is out. Good job, brother.
Bob Jeffrey. He's gotten Dale through a lot of wrecks in his career, hasn't he?
He has. Yeah, sure has. So the pace car in front of leader Kevin Harvick. When they come back around to the opening of the pit lane, we'll see how many of these front runners make a stop.
Is that the lucky dog there?
Ward Burton?
Yep.
No, I believe he was in front of Kevin Harvick, and when he slowed down, we'll double check this, but when he slowed down, Harvick got by him.
Okay, and then he got caught behind the pace car.
Yeah, they put Ward back where he should be. So that's why he's been sent around the pace car. Our Budweiser aerial coverage of today's Daytona 500. Looking down along with the sunshine on this beautiful East Central Florida day. Tell you what, the crew chiefs must be having fits. It was cloudy and overcast and cool this morning when they had to prepare their cars and get them through inspection. Now the sun's out, and here's another chance for them to make some adjustments as they come to pit road here at lap 35. Dave?
Kevin Harvick gives up the lead to come in. His car was just a little bit tight, according to crew chief Todd Barrier. They will make a wedge adjustment. That's the wrench going in the back window, but change nothing else on the 29 car. Bill?
Ryan Newman in the middle of the triple split. Just been a feeling out process for Newman. This is 4 tires and fuel, no chassis changes. Back.
Bill for the second straight stop. No adjustments for Jeff Gordon Chevrolet. Back on lap 24, he said this car is absolutely beautiful. Harvick will win the battle off. He said it hovers between neutral and loose. It is great. Marty?
Matt Joe Nemechek came down pit road running third. The car just a little bit loose. They decided to make no changes to it. They're happy with the loose condition. That should help them later on. After all, the track is getting pretty tight.
Number of drivers did not pit under this caution flag. We'll reset the running order for you in just a moment. The Daytona 500 under caution at the Daytona International Speedway. It's going to be a glory day for one.
Inside those cars is something familiar, a battery. And if you think all batteries are the same, consider this. Kevin Harvick's pit crew trusts one brand of battery in every critical instrument they use, Duracell. So whether you're racing NASCAR's best or the kid down the street, it just has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Duracell, official alkaline battery of NASCAR.
They said someday you'll find all who love are blind. Oh, when heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes.
What do you do when he wants meat lovers, she wants a Supreme, and you want your favorite? Well, Pizza Hut's got the answer. The incredible new 4-for-All. 4 individual pizzas filling one box from corner to corner for just $11.99. All on a not too thick, not too thin crust. The one and only 4-for-All. Just $11.99 only at Pizza Hut. The only way to make everyone happy is to gather around the good stuff.
Meet Starsky and Hutch. They don't give in.
I like your style. I like your moves.
They don't give up.
Don't give up on us, baby.
And they never break down.
Are you crying? No, I'm not crying. You're crying. It's okay to cry. I don't cry. I work out.
Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson,
Vince Vaughn, and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch.
Okay, that's probably enough.
Rated PG-13. Directed by Todd Phillips. Starts March 5th. Monday, it's finally here. The Fear Factor Couples finale. Oh my God! Fear Factor Couples $1 Million finale, NBC Monday.
100% pure official products, and thousands of them. Get exclusive products and content through AOL and the Superstore at NASCAR.com.
Nextel celebrates the heritage of NASCAR.
Richard Petty, 7. That engine packs some wallop. It's the greatest track ever built.
And at Daytona International Speedway, we're wrapping up the second caution flag of the 46 Daytona 500. Yellow coming out after Derek Cope spun off of turn number 4. NASCAR Busch Series update for you. Yesterday, the race stopped by rain after just 31 of the scheduled 200 laps. The Hershey's Kisses 300 will resume on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll have live coverage for you on TNT with Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading the race when it was stopped for rain. Friday night, spectacular Craftsman Truck Series race here at Daytona. Carl Edwards came back from like 3 different problems during the race to win. And he held off a fierce field charging toward him at the checkered flag in the draft. Craftsman Truck's next race about a month from now in Atlanta. If you notice on the racetrack, Tony Stewart is in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr. This is when they were coming to pit road for the green flag stops back at lap 29. And watch how Stewart got the lead.
Yeah, Stewart just got into the pit lane faster than Dale Jr. And like I said earlier, it's very hard to judge to slow your car down enough. You're really on the brakes, you're downshifting. And like BP said, you got to be at 55. Right there.
Beginning right there to the next line, you got to be at 55 miles per hour. Junior not taking any chances. He knows he has a great race car.
So now Tony Stewart in front of Dale Jr. And Stewart is the race leader. There are a handful of cars in front of him on the racetrack in that outside lane, though. Those are all people on the tail end of the lead lap. The pace car came out and picked up the leader. Those cars were all a lap down at the time. The leaders peeled off the pit. These cars didn't. The leaders came off pit road behind them. They basically got 2.5 miles to make up on Tony Stewart. They are tail end of the lead lap.
This is when things get a little bit sticky.
Kind of dicey.
Little dicey.
There's your leader, Tony Stewart, with the bubble over him.
You got the leader coming, and you got these guys that really need a yellow, and they're going to do a lot of blocking to try to keep Tony Stewart back so they don't get put a lap down.
Got Elliott Sadler there in 38, Mike Skinner in 33, Johnny Sauter in 30, Ricky Craven in 32, Ricky Rudd in 21, and Bobby Labonte in 18. Those are all tail end of the lead lap, 2.5 miles behind the leader, Tony Stewart.
This is where you got to have patience, Benny. This is where guys lose their patience.
Speaking of patience, how about 3 wide for the leader?
And the 14 car was slow on that restart. Larry Foyt. Junior said, well, should I follow Tony? Okay, I guess I'll go up there 3 wide.
Don't want to be in the middle.
48 car Jimmy Johnson to the inside. He's racing for that lead as well. Lead cars all sandwiched up in the lap traffic now.
Got these guys right in front of Tony Stewart and Dale Jr. They're really using the mirror, Benny, because you got to block the move if you can. You don't want to get past and put a lap down.
Spencer caught in the center in the 7 car.
When you get a lap down, it just says, I can't win. You got to get that lap back. Got to be on the lead. As long as you're on the lead lap, you've always got a shot.
Ricky Rudd goes a lap down.
So you got Jimmy Johnson in the 48 in the inside lane, Tony Stewart in the 20 in the outside lane, They're racing for the lead in and among all of these cars trying to stay on the lead lap. And that's probably a spot Casey Mears in that 41 just does not want to be in. On board Jimmy Johnson.
Looking back at Dale Earnhardt Jr. from Tony Stewart's car. Off the back bumper.
Larry Foyt's car has made it around to the pit lane. We do stay under the green flag.
Oh, look at the 97 car. Kurt Busch just drives down under Tony Stewart. What a move.
So Jimmy Johnson takes the lead. And Kurt just can't follow him through and get up there in front of Stewart.
Well, he tried so hard.
Ooh, that's close contact there. Earnhardt Jr. and Stewart.
Yeah, Earnhardt Jr. That's what we call bump drafting. You kind of bump the guy ahead of you. You only want to do that in the straightaway, but it helps shove the car in front of you and gives you a little bit more speed.
So Jimmy Johnson chose the lane that moved in that big traffic jam. He jumped down to that inside lane and has gotten in front of Stewart for the lead, but maybe not for long.
Yes, Stewart got a big run getting off the back straightaway into turn 3.
Here goes Junior in the middle. Is he going to make it 3 wide? Casey Kane is slow on the backstretch.
20 car. Wow, that's a handful.
We saw Casey Kane, Ray Evernham's 9 car, off the pace.
And that looked a little sideways, but you know what, folks? That's big sideways when you're on 190 miles per hour. Matt, what happened with the 9 car?
Tommy Baldwin just asked Casey, is it running or is it coasting? He says it is coasting. They told him to try the backup ignition box to see if that might help the race car fire. Casey just said it's something big.
Yeah, it's big.
It is broken. It is smoking.
It's big, Matt. He's got big smoke coming out of the pipes.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. just pushing Tony Stewart down that backstretch. Jimmy Johnson in the 48 tried to mount another charge in that inside lane.
Tony Stewart pulls up behind the rookie, Johnny Sauter. He said, rookie, look in the mirror. Oh, man.
Yikes. Johnny Sauter in that 30 car. Messina, Wisconsin native, driving for Richard Childress Racing.
And now we're on board Tony. Man, look at the run he's got on the straightaway. Boom! He'll hit the car of Ricky Craven. That's the bump draft. Helps push Ricky. But like I said, you got to be real careful. You don't want to do that too late getting into the corner either, because it gets you sideways when you get in the corner. You really need to be careful to be straight when you do that. When Sauter jumped out, he wasn't exactly straight, and he almost got turned sideways.
You don't think about doing that. Oh, got a smoker. Another one in the middle of the pack.
Looks like a
Another
Roush car.
Another Roush car, BP.
Oh, man.
That looks like a right front fender to me.
Could be. Could be. Maybe get some.
Pull it down some.
Maybe had some contact with somebody. Did you see that? Somebody said?
It's got like a kink in it right there at the
It's got
balance
some
and up
contact.
on the tire.
Yeah, the right front fender is rubbing the tire. That's the smoke. He's going to have to go to pit road to get that fender knocked out off that tire.
He was running 4th.
Now, who's the other guy?
Yeah, who did he
got
hit?
that kind of damage. Somebody else has got some damage somewhere.
Well, let's find out. Who did the 97 hit? Watch Junior's car.
There you see down on the bottom, he gets right into the left rear tire, Dale Jr. Now, if it just hit the tire, Junior probably be okay. But boy, look at all of damage there. Doesn't take much. Like Alan was talking about earlier, these guys spend so much time getting these bodies perfect. Just a little bit of a rub is going to hurt the handling of your race car.
Go ahead, Dave.
Kurt's guys go to work on the right front. They've already they've jacked it up to change the 2 right side tires. The tolerances are so close between the fenders and the tires, there's no way they could work on that if they had the tires still on there. So they pulled it off. They will now go to work to bang it out underneath, try to get it close to the aerodynamic beauty that it used to be. Marty, what's happening with Jeff Burton? Well,
Dave, unfortunately his car is going up on the hollow lift, and that's 2 Roush Yates engines. Jeff, if you were still out there, would you be concerned?
Well, certainly, you know, when you see 2, and then with Greg saying yesterday, it certainly is a cause for concern. But I don't even know if the 2 things are the same. If they might have 2 separate incidents, I don't know. But I'm not going to blame those engine guys. They're working really hard, and you know, this is what happens when you're trying to progress your deal. We're trying to make our deal better, and sometimes it works really, really good, and then you'll have a setback. This is a setback, but it's a temporary setback. It's not a permanent setback.
Bill?
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the track and all that traffic. No comment on his radio after the contact with the 97, and part of the reason for that is he couldn't get a word in. His spotter, Stevie Reeves, on the radio the whole time, walking Earnhardt through traffic a lap ago. That's because in practice earlier this week, Earnhardt scolded his spotter, saying, stay with me the whole time. Reeves said he's never seen anybody that aggressive in practice or the race, Matt.
And Jeff Gordon told me earlier in the week, he gave some advice to Brian Vickers, the 20-year-old. If you get in traffic and see me, jump in, follow, and learn. That's exactly what he's doing. An excellent day so far for Vickers. Rick Hendrick told me today, his advice, he told him, just be patient and don't get frustrated. You've got a great car. When you get shuffled to the back, and you will, slowly work your way back to the front. That's exactly what he's done and hooked up with Gordon.
Vickers driving that 25 car for Hendrick Motorsports behind his older and more experienced teammate.
And I'll tell you what, sitting in one of these race cars, this is madness. I mean, you're doing everything you can. You've got your hands full. You are so busy right now in that race car with these race cars sliding around. Man, and these guys are driving hard right now.
So the traffic's starting to thin a little bit, and all the shuffling in 2 and 3 wide. Jimmy Johnson has slipped back in front of Tony Stewart and Earnhardt Jr. So it's Johnson, Earnhardt Jr., Stewart, the top 3. Your guess from there on back, they're all right there in a big pack. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
A big number, but I love a big sale. For the big sale at Radio Shack. Savings galore now in store. Incredible deals too big to ignore.
Find big wireless savings now at Radio Shack. Get this Sprint PCS Vision Phone VI660 by Samsung for just $29.99 with 2-year agreement. Then enter the Call Your Driver sweepstakes. You could win a trip to the Samsung Radio Shack 500, maybe even a new car.
Radio Shack.
Describe the perfect day, Liz.
Well, we're driving to the lake. The kids watch a DVD, and Joe and I have some quality time.
Joe?
Okay, we're barreling along. The Hemi's kicking some serious butt. Then we fish.
Ah, see, you're not traveling in the same vehicle.
The all-new Durango. Big size, smooth ride, Hemi power.
What a quack.
The all-new Dodge Durango, starting under $26,600.
Yeah. We used to get heartburn all the time, but now that new Prilosec OTC is here.
We're gonna spread the word.
Yes, indeed. Hey, you okay?
Heartburn the 3rd day this week.
Start taking this tomorrow and things can change.
Prilosec OTC.
1 pill a day can relieve frequent heartburn for 24 hours.
I could have 0 heartburn.
And it starts working the very first day. Prilosec OTC! 1 pill a day,
24 hours,
0 heartburn.
No, Bugsy, in our line of work, I'm glad we have that insurance. What insurance, Doc? Nope, that's not it. The one that pays you cash if you get hurt and can't work. And Dad's, it's right on the tip of my bill. Flapjack?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
To-tink, I knew the name all along.
Tonight, it's the premiere of Shrek on NBC.
What?
Shrek, NBC tonight, 7/6 Central.
NBC's coverage of the Daytona 500 is brought to you by Budweiser. It's time for a fresh one. Grab a Budweiser. The race is on.
New leader as we come back to the Daytona 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has just stuck the nose of the Budweiser Chevy underneath Jimmy Johnson's 48 car.
Hold on, there goes Jimmy back by. I think. Yeah, it's a pretty good contest right now.
Kurt Busch, 97 car, off pit road, nearly 3 laps down to the leaders. After repairs to the right front corner of his car. We showed you the hit with Earnhardt Jr. earlier.
I think Stewart wanted to stay up in that high line, probably to help his teammate, the 18 car, Bobby Labonte, to try to stay close to that front to get his lap back, but decided to go low.
Well, there's a choice of 8 or 18. I think I'll take the 8. My teammate's just going to have to go on his own.
He's going to have to tough it out, right?
Bill, where deals being made down there?
Well, they're talking about Wolf Jr. moving to the inside all over the track. 20 team and the 8 team, they've been running together. Jr. moves to the outside. But what they want to do, Benny, is they want to make sure they're going to pit on the same lap. Last time, the 8 car was going to pit on lap 31, but when they found out the 20 was going to come a lap earlier, they came that time. They had told Jr. take 30 on the track, come in on 31. They just said, no, pit this time. They want to stay with the 20.
Here comes Bobby Labonte on the outside, Benny. He wants to get on that lead lap.
18 car, the first 1 lap down, and he's in 30th place. Mach 3 Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns, invites you to enter the Gillette Young Guns Challenge. Each week, a lucky fan's going to win $5,000. You can log on to GilletteYoungGuns.com for details. Twice during 2004, in May at the Coca-Cola 600, and in November for the Ford 400. Fans will have a chance to win a grand prize of $5 million.
Wow.
If you pick Dale Earnhardt Jr. and he holds on to wins today's race in the Gillette Young Guns contest, you could be entered into that. You will be entered into that drawing. And could win $5 grand.
See if the 18 gets in front of the 20. 20 decides to follow the 18. If it all sorts out.
Bobby Labonte not on the lead lap. Matt Kenseth right behind Labonte, and the 17 is. That is the 4th place car.
And Kurt Busch has moved up to the outside, hoping that Junior would go with him, but he goes by Elliott Sadler anyway.
Remember though, BP, that 97 has fresher tires than all these other cars he's racing with. That unscheduled pit stop a minute ago. How about Jimmy Johnson, Matt?
Jimmy says the car is just a tick on the tight side. Jimmy has never won a restrictor plate race. Chad Knaus has gone to victory lane here in the 500 as a crew member on Jeff Gordon's team. Last night while doing media in victory lane, when it was all said and done, Chad walked up on the winner's podium, stood there, and then wrote CK. He wanted to mark his spot, reserve it for later today. They feel like they've got a great car that can go to victory lane. Now it's just up to Jimmy. Marty?
Come out, you see Matt Kenseth up in the front there, and you would never realize that they had some damage early on. They have tailpipe damage, which Robbie Reiser, the crew chief, believes is hurting the horsepower. They also have some body damage, hurting the aerodynamics, but Matt keeping the car up front. Bill?
And an outstanding run so far for Greg Biffle. Won the pole here a week ago today. Had to start at the rear of the field because an engine change. This morning he said he was confident but somewhat concerned with that new engine, but he's had a good run and done a good job getting it to the front. Burns.
And Weber, we're keeping our eye on these sets of tires that come off the cars. Kevin Harvick stayed out as long as anyone on that first run and pitted as the leader. I checked out all his tires, checked with the crew. Everything looks very good. Even that right front, the most sensitive of the tires. Matt?
Dave, the Gordon-Vickers combination made it up to 5th and 6th. Then Jeff said, my car is just a little more on the free side. Please ask Brian to give me a little bit of slack back there. He gave a little too much, lost position. He's dropped back to 9th.
Tell you what, Jeff Gordon has been coming up through that pack.
You know, I'm thinking watching he and Kevin Harvick, Wally and Benny, we're seeing a different kind of Daytona 500 than we have the last few years, and it's because of these new tires that NASCAR asked Goodyear to develop. If you're not familiar with the story, the tires in past years have been so durable and so good that you didn't need tires. You could basically run a set all day long and they wouldn't lose any speed. And it became where the first guy off pit road was going to be the guy that won the race. Drivers wanted that changed by NASCAR so that a car's handling and a driver's skill were once again more of a factor in deciding a race. Goodyear did that, and we're seeing the cars that handle better, like Harvick and Tony Stewart and these guys, able to drop back in the pack and then come back up and do a lot of passing.
I think the fans wanted it more than the drivers did.
Yeah. You know, I agree. Yeah, probably right. But these guys, the teams that can adapt to change is the best. They're still going to be the best teams. They're going to have the cars that are going to be the fastest. But I think once all said,
oh, trouble. Back straightaway. Rusty Wallace, Jeff Green, and more.
It's an easy wave them off behind you. Back it down. Coming to the caution.
That's Ken Schrader.
Kenny Schrader. Oh, darn it. Schrader and Rusty in the 43 car. Man.
There's Jeff Green.
So Rusty will not win the Daytona 500 in 2004.
Rusty Wallace in his 22nd Daytona 500 try. He has scored 54 wins at NASCAR's top level. But this race, its biggest, has not been one of them.
Well, Kurt Busch is going to get one of his laps back. Elliott Sadler will come back around, be on the tail end of all those lead lap cars.
Labonte will be the lucky dog?
Yeah, Bobby Labonte hung on with Tony, became the lucky dog.
Now let's see what happened here. That Rusty Wallace just got squeezed in. The 42 car, Jamie McMurray, came up the racetrack right across the left front of Rusty Wallace, turned Rusty into the 43 car of Jeff Green and collected Schrader.
Ooh, see Johnny Benson there come whistling by in the grass. That had to be a hairy ride.
That's one of those deals where, you know, most of the time 2 out of 3 of the other cars are just at the wrong place at the wrong time. There's nowhere they could have gone.
See, McMurray just had no idea that Rusty was moving up on his outside, and Rusty had to avoid the 42 car. And
now watch these guys to the right here as Jeff Green spins, come whistling through the grass.
Yeah, running through the grass 180 is always exciting.
Oh, there's John Andretti just barely getting by.
On board Dale Jarrett.
He just barely gets by.
This is Jeremy Mayfield. And he's going to end up in the grass.
Yeah, this is not good for Jeremy because
he got it slowed down a lot before he hit the grass. That was good.
All right, here we go. Here they come down pit road. Hardy.
First stall on pit road for Matt Kenseth, BP. He said it's about as loose as I can stand it at the beginning of the run, but the track is getting slick. Leave it like it is. 4 tires, no changes, Dave.
Tony Stewart said, I'm loose at times, I'm tight at times. I'm having fun driving this thing. Don't change anything except change the tires and fill it full of fuel. Bill?
Just minimal damage on the 8 car from that contact with the 97. A little tight, half a round out. Waiting down the left rear. Junior's on his way to you, Matt.
Jimmy Johnson's car was tight. He's not going to beat the 20 off or the 8. They went 1 round in the left rear, 1 round out the right rear. A good stop by the 48 guys.
And a great stop by Matt Kenseth's team. Looks like they're going to pick him up 2 spots on pit road and get him out second.
So what else is new? Kenseth's crew picking up spots on pit road?
Let's check. We have a camera mounted at the line where they score the cars coming at pit exit. Tony Stewart. There's Matt Kenseth. And now watch this for third.
Ooh. Got to give it to Little E.
Oh, barely.
So Junior off third, Jeff Gordon off fourth. Caution for the 3rd time in the Daytona 500 after trouble on the back straightaway. Here's our crew cam. This is Brian Chase, the jackman from Michael Waltrip's machine. It's a busy time.
Every coach knows the ability to stay in the game is what counts. So if you want to stay in the game, don't let anything hold you back. Take action to stay in the game. Ask about Levitra.
Ask your doctor for free sample is right for you. Levitra, stay in the game.
Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Levitra. Levitra works for me. See if it'll work for you.
Nice Harley. Thanks. Yeah, I was gonna get one of those myself, but spent the $64.95 on a killer dinette set. It was tough, you know. It was Harley, dinette set, Harley, dinette set.
The all-new Sportster is here.
Went with a dinette set.
The bike you've always wanted starts at $64.95.
They're coming! They're coming!
Domino stops are coming!
Big flavors coming your way. Introducing cheesy Domino's Dots. Smothered in delicious Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. 360 degrees of all-around fun. Get an order of cheesy Domino's Dots for 99 cents when you buy any large one-topping pizza for $9.99. Now in a manageable size.
I don't know. They look pretty big to me.
Get the door. It's new cheesy Domino's Dots.
Out here, a man isn't measured by where he started. Just where he finishes. For 22 years running, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series.
And what a story for Laura Wilkinson of the United States. Listen to that applause.
Maybe I should be in the Olympics.
We're back as Tony Stewart stands just one dive away from his first gold medal.
Let's have a nice round of applause for Tony Stewart. And security to the main entrance.
Ooh. Nah. NASCAR and the Summer Olympics on NBC.
At Daytona International Speedway, NBC Sports with live coverage of the 46th Daytona 500. Race under caution for a third time after a three-car accident off of turn number 2 involving Rusty Wallace, Ken Schrader, and Jeff Green.
As we watch again here, watch 42 on the bottom of your screen. He floats up, doesn't know Rusty's there, turns Rusty right into the 43 and collects Kenny Schrader as well. Want to know how frustrated that is?
Yeah, it's
Take a listen.
We'll get that for you in a minute. We lost a lug nut on the pit stop. Marty?
Well, Alan, I'll paraphrase for you. He was upset, very upset. And Schrader, you had a chance to watch the replay like everybody else at home. Did your opinion change at all?
Rusty, everybody's tight, you know. I mean, not everybody. We're a little bit loose, but they just run out of room. You know, we're back there. Everybody's just kind of in cruise mode. And I guess 42 gets into the 42. It's a damage.
And then they get the damage into Mike, our camera guy.
Business. But I just got to apologize, Schwans. This is how we started this thing like in 86, and we'll do better this time. But the 42 hits the 2 who's under the 43, and I'm behind the 43, and here we are.
Sometimes you just run out of room, Bill.
On that pit stop, guys, Ryan Newman sustained some right rear damage, and here's what was happening after his pit stop, he was boxed in, so he backed up. About the time he was going to back up, the 31 behind him decided to leave, so they made contact. A couple of crew guys went down. Everybody's fine. They came back in, bandaged up the right side of the 12 car and sent it back out. The biggest thing for Ryan here is he's got Buddy Baker working as a spotter on the backstretch, telling him, look, we're just 62 laps into this thing. Relax, we'll be fine.
So Ryan Newman back out on track. We're under caution, the Daytona 500.
Auto Parts, we have great batteries and millions of other quality parts. Napa, get the good stuff.
It's true. We're hard-charging, aggressive. We're not afraid to move people out of the way.
We have some pretty close shaves.
And we always come out looking good.
You know why?
Mark III Turbo Champion, the world's closest, most comfortable shave, even against the grain.
We like going against the grain.
Oh, yeah. Mark III Turbo Champion, the only razor used by the Gillette Young Guns.
Only one truck has the strongest, toughest frame of any full-size pickup. That truck is the new Ford F-150. It has a fully boxed frame with crossbars welded through the side rails, all of which gives you the highest payload. Only the next F-150 earned the right to be the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Just past 150 miles in the Daytona 500. Corvette pace car hits pit road. Tony Stewart, the leader, brings the field up to speed on the restart. Matt Kenseth is second, Earnhardt Jr. third, Jeff Gordon fourth, Jimmy Johnson fifth. Rest of the top 10 off the pit lane: Michael Waltrip, Greg Biffle, Brian Vickers, Kevin Harvick, and Dave Blaney. 27 cars on the lead lap. Bobby Labonte, under NASCAR rules, waved by the pace car after that last caution. He was the highest scored non-lead lap car. He gets back on the lead lap with the yellow flag.
We generally call that the Lucky Dog Award.
He was the lucky dog there. Who's that jumping down there? Is that Ricky Rudd?
21. Dave?
And guys, he was racing with leader, his teammate, Tony Stewart. They have two-way radio communication, so he radioed to Tony. Didn't mean to get in your way, buddy, but I wanted to be the lucky dog, and Tony said, that's all right.
Got a lead change, maybe. Matt Kenseth looking underneath Tony Stewart.
And Junior, who's he going to go with? He's chosen the 17 car.
I don't think he could get behind Tony Stewart. I think Jeff Gordon kind of closed the door, and here comes Jeff Gordon and his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, in the 48 car.
Now these guys have a run on Tony Stewart. Can they go by Tony for the lead?
I believe they'll try.
They're sure going to try. They are trying.
While you watch this, let's hear from Rusty Wallace involved in that last accident.
Rusty and his torn up #2 race car back here in the garage. And what happened, Rusty?
I tried to pass the 43 between turn 1 and 2. Been following him for a couple laps and just really needed to get past him, making my car real tight and everything. So I passed him down to 1 and 2. Thought I had him cleared off at 2 and didn't give him enough room. I just got my right rear quarter panel in this left front fender and turned us both into the wall, and that was it.
He had a good sense of humor about it. He said, I'm beginning to think this racetrack doesn't like me anymore. They have not had much luck here in the last few years.
So Rusty Wallace out, or at least in the garage with a chance to win over with today. Sounds like he'll be trying to come back later on today for championship points. Our Singular Wireless Race Talk poll, we asked it earlier, and the number of potentials is getting whittled down. Which of these drivers, who has never won the Daytona 500, has the best chance of winning today? Well, Mark Martin with an engine failure earlier. Rusty Wallace was your pick. Now he's been in a wreck. Terry Labonte and Ricky Rudd still in contention. Labonte running 16th and Rudd running 31st.
We should change it maybe to see who's going to be left running the race at the end.
Which one will be left?
Got Ricky Rudd as a lap down.
Tony Stewart leading, Matt Kenseth second, the race for third. Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon there, 8 and 24. Let me mention that on that last caution, Sterling Marlin gave up 5th position. He came off pit road 5th, then went back in again for another pit stop, and it's dropped him back to 18th position. We'll try and get a follow-up report on what happened to the driver of the 40.
Looks like today that high line is struggling, Benny.
It's just not working at all. And Gordon finally squeezes down, gets to the inside, and leaves Tony, his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, the 48, hung on the outside. Matt, what about the 24?
Jeff Gordon's car was a little loose before that caution. He just could not run on that high side, and it was slowing him up. That's exactly what happened during this run. The car's still a little free. He needed to get to the bottom. That's where his car works the best. Unfortunately, he hung out his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, doing so.
Boy, you sure did, Matt.
Yeah, just looking at that pack there, Michael Waltrip really hasn't been at the front of the field most of the day. That's very surprising to me.
Michael might be playing a waiting game because Slugger Lavey, Michael Waltrip, anyone you talk to with that car will tell you that they are fast. But you're right, he hasn't challenged for the lead, but that could be by design.
2 lap cars there in the middle of these lead cars trying to get through and keep up with the front 4. Let's take a look at the AOL top speed as we come to complete lap number 69 and start lap 70. Who's fastest? 24 car, kind of tucked at the end of that lead draft. Jeff Gordon with the AOL top speed.
And that's a speed of an average all the way around the racetrack, not the speed as they cross the line.
Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car really wants to get by the 41 car face mirror so he can get down in that bottom line and pick up the draft of those first 4 cars.
It's kind of complicated here for some of the people like Michael Waltrip and Kevin Harvick. You got 3 cars not on the lead lap right there at the head of these double wide lines. You got Casey Mears in the 41. You got Ricky Rudd in the 21 and Ricky Craven in the 32. They have every right to be there.
Yeah.
But these lead lap cars try to keep up with those front 4, and they've got to deal with the traffic first.
Wow, who is that was pushing Ricky Rudd there? Is that Busch?
That's Kurt Busch.
Woo, he got to run. Got to run. 97 car, Kurt Busch. Really got to run. Busch the 21 car right on by.
That 97 has shown to be fast, very fast.
And what's at stake for him here? He's
trouble.
Contact on the
Hang on,
backstretch.
guys,
It's
hang
Michael
on.
Waltrip and now Brian Vickers. Robbie Gordon, 31. The top. Oh, Waltrip's over. 1, 2, 3 times for Michael Waltrip.
Well, there's the
Now,
big
this is
one
the
right
big
there. Took a lot. There's a lot of good cars right there. Is that Sterling Marlin in there?
40 cars in it. That's Michael Waltrip's car upside down.
Talk to me, Michael.
Terry Smith.
See movement there at the left side of the car as we look at it. Caution flag is out. The field has slowed. And the safety and rescue workers already there attending to Michael Waltrip's car and the others involved in this big crash down the back straightaway.
And this is why NASCAR slow these cars down on the caution flag, to let the rescue workers get there to attend to these drivers as quickly as possible.
They're so much faster right now than they used to.
Oh man, it's unbelievable.
And Wally, you know from your experience inside these race cars with all the safety restraints and so on, it's not a big cockpit area that a driver has to move around in, and Michael's not a small guy.
No, Michael's a big guy. You've got your Hans on. Michael's got some extra wires connected to this helmet because of the camera that he's carrying, like I was yesterday. So there's a lot of things that are connected to you. You can't move. On top of that, you're upside down. It's hard to get the steering wheel off, and then when you let go of the belts, you got to be careful not to fall on top of the steering wheel column. So you got to really try to get your bearings and just, if you're not hurt, just take your time. Those guys are there, the fire guys are there, and if you can just take your time and get yourself unhooked, I think, obviously if the car's on fire, you're going to create ways to get out quick, but.
There's Brian Vickers out of his car. Jamie McMurray in the accident. Driver with the star in his uniform. Back left of the screen. He's out of his car. And the work continues around the Michael Waltrip machine.
And also the way the seats are around you, the headpieces, it's very difficult for somebody like Michael.
If he's okay, the best thing they could do is turn the car over and then get him out, if he's okay.
Pit road is open. Let's check on the pit stops. Marty?
Alan Matt Kenseth in second place. He said, I need to be a little bit tighter if I'm going to run up front here. I about wrecked 6 times that time. Half around down on the track bar, Dave.
More good news for Tony Stewart's. No chassis changes this time. 4 fresh tires. Plus the news that Michael's okay. Weber?
This should be routine. 4 tires for the 8 car, and fuel seemed to take a long time on the right front, Matt.
The 24 is in. It's going to be a 4-tire change for Jeff Gordon. His car has started to come to him. Jimmy Johnson also in service complete. It's going to be close. He's not going to beat the 20 and the 8 off pit road.
I think Jeff Gordon got there first.
Yeah, good stop.
See the rest of the teams exiting pit road after their stops. And the work around the Michael Waltrip car to extricate him from that machine after it turned over at least 3 times down the backstretch. When the car slid off into the grass, I saw one of the tires leave the machine, and when that rim that was left on it dug into the grass, it just sent the car kind of cartwheeling over on its roof.
And when you're in a situation like that, you are just a passenger, especially when these cars start turning each other. Here you see, looks like Johnny Sauter slid up in the 30 car into Brian Vickers in the 25. A chain reaction.
Yes, that's Michael Tuckins. Yes.
And Biffle, the pole sitter, looks like he barely got through there.
So you see the tire come off of Michael's car, then it got into that grass softened by the rain, and it just dug in, just like we saw Ryan Newman's last year, and sent the car over.
There's Harvick, Kevin LePage, Johnny Benson,
Terry Labonte. You saw McMurray and Vickers.
Okay, here we go. This might be our best shot.
Watch the car on the bottom there.
The
Blue
30.
and yellow car. Slides up right there. Just ever so little contact, which doesn't look like a lot when you're running 185, 190 mile per hour. It's a lot.
There's the 15, and about now he's going to dig in. There goes one of the tires that Alan talked about. Violent.
Very violent. Yeah, when you hit that grass, hang on.
And the 30 car, he comes up and just, it's like you said, Wally, another 6 inches. Probably would have not been an accident.
And it looks like the 30 to me got a little bit loose down there. He got a little bit loose. He corrected, but when he corrected, he slid up the racetrack. And unfortunately, there were 2 cars on the outside of him.
So my count, at least 10 cars involved in this accident.
And it's hard to tell if he got loose or he pushed up there, but
the end result is still the same.
Yeah.
Michael hit by Robbie Gordon, and then here's the dig. Right there.
Dig.
See just how high that he throws the dirt as the car goes over.
A couple other cars almost got on their lid, too. That was Kevin LePage in the 4 car got some air.
Now watch this. I think Biffle gets through it without too much damage.
Hey, Benny, he just said on the radio they should show it from my onboard.
Stay low.
We are.
Wow, that is amazing.
Come on. You all right? How bad is it? You good?
That should be the lucky dog.
That's right.
There.
Robbie Gordon's view.
Robbie didn't have such a good time of it.
Down.
Man.
That looked like yesterday.
We're done. My car's killed.
He said all this while he's sliding to a stop. Did you hear him say, we're done?
Yeah.
My car's killed?
Let's watch the 30. See if he pushes or he gets loose. He gets loose.
Gets loose, yeah.
So the back end breaks loose first, and when he's trying to correct and catch it, is when he slides up into Vickers, and Vickers pinches Waltrip, and off they go. Let's add a couple of more to this. How about 12 cars in this accident now? We get all the numbers and the cars coming back around damage. There's Ryan Newman.
Yep, he was almost through it. 25 car Vickers came down and just tagged him.
LePage in the air, Sterling Marlin up under him. There's Benson in the 09.
And like I said, there's just no place for you to go a lot of times. It's just...
Let's go on board Michael Waltrip. And
That's us, guys. 25 got into us. That's us.
They are talking to Michael, the safety workers are, but we talked about the tight cockpit and Michael being a big guy. He's just trapped inside the car.
that's right. I mean, turn the thing over. Or cut the roll cage out of it.
I think probably the reason they don't turn it over to BP is if he does have any kind of injury, especially to the neck or the back, that's the last thing you want to do.
That's probably a good idea, yeah.
So precautions being taken to extricate Michael Waltrip from his machine. And while we continue to monitor that, let's check with Marty.
Ryan Newman hammering on the 12 car right now and said that he would rather talk. He just wants to calm down for a second. Very upset about what happened out there. And sometimes, BP, as you know, you can use a hammer to take out some frustrations, can't you?
Yeah, hit that fender, Ryan. Hit it hard.
Hit Marty.
Yeah, hit Marty.
I would rather you hit me.
Of course, Ryan Newman, they got the car up on its side and looks like they're flipping it over.
All right, now don't let it hit so hard. Oh,
no way you're going to stop that. And you see they continue to work. Wow, look at the heavy damage to that machine. So they continue to work to get Michael Waltrip out of his car. Again, though, the report from NASCAR is that he is talking to the rescue workers there. And a big list. Wow.
Man,
involved in this accident.
Well, we talked about earlier, it's not if, it's when.
So in this case, the big wreck happened at lap 72 of the 200 scheduled in today's Daytona 500-mile race. And the defending 500 winner played an unfortunate starring role. See a number of different rescue crews there, the tow trucks to remove all the vehicles involved in the accident, the EMTs and the medical workers, the firemen and the extrication tools. And that's inside Michael Waltrip's car.
And Michael's probably
he's getting
out of the car now.
Michael is crawling out of that thing.
Good. But you can see how close everything is in there, very confined. Plus, you got the roof on you. The dash is all crushed on you.
The people in the back can see that and listen to the huge applause that Michael gets as he gets out and waves to the crowd.
It's a good sign.
Take the stretcher and put it back. We don't need it.
So not the kind of day Michael Waltrip hoped for, certainly, in this Daytona 500. He was hoping to come away with his name inscribed on the Harley Earl Trophy for a third time as a 500 winner. Instead, he's going to be on every 11 o'clock sportscast tonight with the spectacular flyer through the infield.
That's a roof cam, watching all these guys pick the debris up.
Trouble off turn 2 involves 12 cars and sends Michael Waltrip for a flying tumble. Caution flag is out in the 46 Daytona 500. Frightening, scary moment. Fortunately, Michael Waltrip out of his car, and it's just fine.
No surprise, the Home Depot is NASCAR's home improvement warehouse.
If you look forward to that first perfectly irresistible chip from a freshly opened bag of Lay's, wait till you hear this. Lay's potato chips are now even crispier. Just one more reason, they're America's favorite.
Lay's is proud to be the official sponsor of Jeff Gordon and the Hendrick Motorsports number 24 team.
So this is the living room, plasma TV,
the awesome sound system,
toast,
the hot tub,
the grill.
Oh yeah, did I mention the driveway?
Check out Visa.com to learn how you and 3 friends could win the ultimate NASCAR experience. Stay in a luxury RV, get a hot lap with Rusty Wallace or Kurt Busch, and possibly win a prize bonus. Visa, proud sponsor of NASCAR. It's everywhere you want to be.
We are the champions, my friends. We'll keep on fighting to the end. We are the champions.
Ah, the feeling of asking your doctor about Viagra. Want to try Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you. Or go to Viagra.com for more information.
Mr. Goodwrench, you're fast, but I'm going to get you.
Just how fast are you guys in the pits?
We changed 2 tires in 8 seconds.
A little healthy competition for the elusive Mr. Goodwrench. Well, if Mr. Goodwrench does your brakes, rotates your tires, and checks your engine, what are you, the team mascot?
I drive the car.
Seriously, what do you do?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
License and registration, pal.
What? Just kidding. That's nice. What is that, metal?
There's only one place faster than Daytona, Las Vegas. And this Monday, from missing money, $4.5 million, to guest star Dennis Hopper, and a few other surprises.
Oh, Richard!
The hottest place to be this Monday is Las Vegas on NBC.
As we come back to the Daytona 500, you see the remains of Michael Waltrip's car being hauled away. The most important part to note, that center cage area. You see from the window, door in the window area, the front and back, if that crushes, that's fine. But that center cage where the driver sits, Benny and Wally, that's the heart of the safety of a race car.
And we can see the integrity is still there and protecting Michael Waltrip.
Especially for somebody like Michael's size.
He's about 6'5".
Yeah.
Camera still works. He talked about flipping that car back over, BP. This was the view. Upside down, right side up.
Okay, now we take the wheel off and see about getting out of this car.
Just look at the dirt on the dashboard. And yeah. Remember Ryan Newman told us on Countdown to Green the piece of sod he ended up with in his car after his flip last year that he took home with him. McDonald's sponsors a championship, a contest for pit crews throughout the season. Teams who spend the least amount of time on pit road. It's called the McDonald's Pit Crew Championship, fueled by Powerade. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team was the victor a season ago, and the teams will be contesting for that race within a race throughout 2004. Just had a round of pit stops here. You saw that Jeff Gordon won the race off the pit lane. Now all the teams will be running down to the Sunoco gas station to get some more fuel for the next round of pit stops. Sunoco, just one of the new things in NASCAR racing in 2004. Good to have him aboard. You know, my dad, when he raced back in the late 1960s at a local track up in Massachusetts, I was just talking this morning, had a big Sunoco decal on the car. The local Sunoco dealer used to give him gasoline. That's what a sponsorship was in those days. Marty?
A wild ride for a lot of drivers, including Brian Vickers. What started all that, Brian?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the 30 car may have got loose or something and got into us, and then I got into Michael and just kind of went from there. I hate it for everybody. I really hate it for this GMAC Chevy team. They worked their butts off. It's the best car we had all week. We went from 35th to the top 10. We were running top 10 there the last part of the race we were in. But the guys did a great job. I can't thank them enough. I want to thank the president for coming today and all the support we have from the fans out here.
When all that happens, what's your view?
What's my view?
What do you see out the windshield? Anything?
Hold on. I see a lot of smoke, a lot of dirt flying, a lot of cars, and it usually hurts pretty good. But I'm fine now. I got a little bit sore, but other than that, it's just hold on and let go of the wheel.
He feels fine, but he's only 20 years old. Remember that too, Dave.
Marty Sterling Marlin drove his car in. What was your view of the wreck there?
I don't know. We all ran into each other on the straightaway. Somebody got into somebody in front of us up there, and seen some smoke, and everything looked good. And you know, I was going good and straight. Somebody hung me in the right rear and turned me head on in the fence. So I don't know what time to do all that. These cars too tight. They need to cut the spoiler off and make them a little loose. Everybody's pushing, and if you get 3 deep, the front end just takes off on them, and it's nothing to do about it. So they need to look at these rules and cut some of the spoiler off and let us get them hung out sideways.
All right, Sterling Marlin not able to win his 3rd Daytona 500 today, guys.
Still cleaning up on the back straightaway, so let's take a break. We're approaching 200 miles. In the 46 Daytona 500, a dozen cars involved in the big wreck on the back straightaway. Michael Waltrip, I don't think any question about it, got the worst of the whole deal.
There's a place not many people know how to get to. It's not found on any map. There are no road signs. But when you get there, you'll know. Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush beer.
UPS drivers lift a lot of heavy objects, so, you know, it's recommended that we start the day with some warming up. I prefer yoga.
Place your hands inhale, left foot in for tree. Exhale, step, step, all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift the arms up, lift the spirit.
Maybe tomorrow we'll try jumping jacks.
That'd be good. I'm Jesse James. When it comes to my cars, I'm a hands-on kind of guy. I trust the pros at AutoZone for all the stuff I need. If you care enough about your car, get in the zone. AutoZone.
Meet Greg Biffle, Subway-sponsored professional race car driver. A man who doesn't know the meaning of the word slow.
Done! I win! Yes!
Subway, proud sponsor of Greg Biffle and the number 16 car. Subway, eat fresh.
Because there are low visibility projects, we make high visibility sockets. An innovative tool for every project. Ideas for the good life. Craftsman, only from Sears. It projects a perfectly straight laser beam, so you can end up with a perfectly straight cut. An innovative tool for every project. Ideas for the good life. Craftsman, only from Sears.
Chevrolet Corvette, official pace car of the 2004 Daytona 500, hanging a left and getting out of the way. Caution period is over. Jeff Gordon leads the field to the restart as the race reaches 200 miles. Let me correct one thing I said before. Kevin Harvick was not in that wreck on the back straightaway. I mistook his car for Sterling Marlin's. So Harvick still running well in 7th place.
A lot of shoving right there. 20 car shoving. The 24 of Jeff Gordon.
And while we watch the cars come up to speed, let's go to Marty Snyder.
Well, Michael Waltrip, you look a little dirty, but are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just unfortunate. I was on the outside, and I survived one rookie being on the inside of me, but I guess when the second one decided to dive in there, it was too much. They got together and pinned me into the wall, and that grass down on the back stretch is just real dangerous deal. You know, you hit it and it sends the car flipping.
Is it a scary ride? I mean, I know it is. Is it quiet like everybody says when you're upside down like that?
No, it was pretty hard bounces off the road, and then when the car stopped, I was pinned way bad. I felt like one of those dudes at Mirage at the Le Cirque or whatever it is. I was in a box and I couldn't get out, and I didn't appreciate the way the safety workers were going about it, so I was trying to tell them just to turn the car over. You know, I just flipped 10 times or 5 times or 2 times. I don't know how many times. Running 180 and survived it. All they had to do was set it back over and I could get out. They were cutting bars. The whole car was on top of me. I don't know what bar they thought they were going to cut that would have alleviated the hole I was in. But my brother told me the other day that all the great ones have flipped at Daytona. I guess I'm one of them now.
How frustrating was it to be pinned in like that, Michael?
Well, you know, racing cars is not it's not the safest thing. Maybe at times it's not even the sanest thing you do. So you understand you're going to get in some binds, and you don't worry about what you get yourself into. You look forward to people helping you get out of it. And I couldn't see where they were doing a whole lot of good to get me out. So I was trying my best to explain to them what needed to happen. And what did they eventually do after me screaming and yelling for 10 minutes? They flipped it over and I got out. So I hope that was a lesson learned.
We'll take a dirty Michael Waltrip as long as he's a healthy Michael Waltrip. Michael, just fine.
So Michael's chance to win a 3rd Daytona 500 is over for this day after the frightening crash down the back straightaway. You've been watching the pictures. You've seen Johnny Sauter's 30 car smoking after the restart.
It's like a tire was rubbing one of the fenders.
Jimmy Johnson looking for a spot on Dave Blaney. 48 and 23 might backfire. Johnson losing some ground instead. How about that 30 car, Matt?
Johnny Sauter had a fender rub for over a lap and a half, and finally it cut into the tire. He says, now I've got a left rear going down.
So they'll bring the 30 car to pit road. 2nd place. Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, side by side instead of nose to tail like they've been all day. And here comes Greg Biffle, 3 wide in the 16.
Uh-oh, Earnhardt Jr. stuck in the middle in the 8 car.
Jimmy Johnson for the lead on his teammate, Jeff Gordon.
And boy, they have completely split. Nobody's going to go up there and help, not at the moment. There goes Harvick, though.
3 wide.
Stewart looking up high side.
For the race lead.
3 abreast off 2. And I tell you what, Dave Blaney ran so well last Saturday in the Bud Shootout. It continues today. Terrific run for that white 23 car.
It's right there.
And that's a team, Bill, that is,
squeezing it down there in front of the 8-car of Dale Jr. Whoa.
Okay, I'll let you finish the thought on the 23, Bill.
Yeah, I was holding my breath there, but Alan, just 2 minor air pressure adjustments on that car all day. Felipe Lopez calling the shots for Bill Davis Racing. It's been a great day for Dave Blaney. And Benny, like you were talking about, he wants a little better finish today.
Yeah, he did not get it last Saturday night. And, you know, this is a team that this may be their last race.
That's where I was going, BP. This team is not scheduled to show up at the race in Rockingham, North Carolina next Sunday. The sponsorship that's on the side of their car here is for this Speed Weeks only. They don't have backing for the rest of the season. Not planning on going next week. I talked with crew chief Felipe Lopez this morning.
Biffle and Gordon side by side, and each one of these guys I mean, they just want to get behind Jimmy Johnson and get in single file.
How about this 16 car, BP? Greg Biffle told you when we talked to him via the radio on the pace laps, he thought he had a good enough car to get from the back to the front.
That's what he told Bill and I this morning.
See Jimmy Johnson trying to give the 24 car, Jeff Gordon, some help. Gets up to the high side, gives him some help drafting, but now he left the bottom open. And Greg Biffle is going to fill it.
And Biffle, he said as long as he had somebody behind him pushed him good, he'd be okay. And he's got one of the best right now in the 8.
Let's get more on Greg Biffle from pit lane.
Hey, Alan, Benny, remember how he found out that he was going to the back of the field? He was in the rain delay for the Busch race watching television, and a friend called him and said, hey, you're going to the back of the field. You're not going to start on the pole. He goes, that's impossible. He goes, so then he saw it during the rain coverage that he was going to start at the back of the field. That's a heck of a way to find it out, Dave.
When we started the show talking about how the damaged 20 car was repaired to make this field, but we didn't talk about how the slow 20 car became the fast 20 car. I talked to Greg Zipadelli later in the week about the change, the transformation they had made on this 20 car. Greg said, I went back to our library of notes. I read everything we'd ever done at any restrictor plate track, Talladega and Daytona, every year. And I studied and we changed and we came up with a solution. Guys, you just don't pick up time at Daytona like the 20 car picked up this week.
It's amazing the transformation that has taken place. Last Sunday in qualifying, I made the statement, unless they pick up some speed, they will not win the Daytona 500. But in that 7 days that followed, they obviously found enough speed they can win the Daytona 500.
We heard from Michael Waltrip and Brian Vickers. Robbie Gordon and Jamie McMurray involved in that last accident, also treated and released from the Infield Medical Center. You heard from Sterling Marlin, and you saw Ryan Newman drive their cars into the garage and getting them worked on there. 11 laps from halfway in the Daytona 500. Our Napa Field summary. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has led the most laps today, though not in front now. Those who have led among the 6 drivers: Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Petty led some laps under that last caution. 4 yellow flags. The 5 retired from the race include Michael Waltrip's Napa machine, Brian Vickers, Casey Kane, Jeff Burton, and Mark Martin. The latter 3 all with early engine troubles that took them out of this Daytona 500. Performance by Greg Biffle. What a performance by Tony Stewart's team. Remember?
Oh, look at that. Sorry there, Alan.
That's okay.
Boy, that 48 car got a run, and
now he's going to get hung out.
I don't know. I think ooh, little loose there with Biffle down on the bottom. His car got a little sideways on him. That's going to cost him a little bit.
He told me that his car is bottoming out the front cross member. Oh, some trouble there. Got in the left rear of the 48. He told me that his car is bottoming out down between 1 and 2, the front cross member. That's probably what happened to him there, Wally.
Well, I'll tell you what, he better not do that with somebody on his bumper, or he's going to be sideways, because if Dale Jr. was like that, when his car bottomed out, that car will turn sideways.
NASCAR Race Control just delivering a message via the pit road official assigned to Greg Biffle's team about blocking.
Blocking?
Little warning.
And they just told Biffle on the radio, just go run some laps, Greg. Just run some laps.
He's got Dale Earnhardt Jr. stuffed right up under his rear bumper right now. I started talking about Tony Stewart's team before we did the ooh, ooh, ooh thing. What a job by this team Tony Stewart's car damaged in a crash in yesterday's final practice. They had to take it into the garage area, spend until about 5:30 last night rebuilding the fenders, then come in early this morning, rebuild the suspension on the right side of the car. They put it on the racetrack without turning a lap. And the threat of that is that because of the aerodynamics on these big tracks, they try to get the fenders fitting as tightly around the tires as they can, but it's easy to go too far and have the fenders where they rub on those tires. Crew Chief Greg Zipadelli told me this morning they were concerned about that. Obviously, they've done it to perfection.
Well, I guess so. And I'll tell you what, you know Biffle wants to get out front bad. And I think what he would like is to have his spotter come by and radio down and say, Earnhardt will go with you if you want to go. Because he's going to need help.
Coming up on halfway in the Daytona 500. It's been a pretty exciting race so far. I feel safe in saying the best is yet to come.
Kids are always looking to sports for role models. It's good to know they're looking in the right places. Nextel, proud to be fans.
If a relaxing moment turns into the right moment, will you be ready? Introducing Cialis, the first tablet for erectile dysfunction that gives you up to 36 hours to choose the moment that's right for you and your partner. New Cialis goes to work fast and can work for up to 36 hours. Cialis is not for everyone. If you take nitrates for chest pain or certain alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, do not take Cialis. Such combinations could cause a sudden unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. The most common side effects were headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. Erections lasting longer than 4 hours, though rare, require immediate medical help. Discuss your health status with your doctor to ensure Cialis is right for you and you are healthy enough for sexual activity. Ask your doctor if a free sample of prescription Cialis is right for you. 36-hour Cialis. When the moment is right, will you be ready?
It was called the Alamo. There are only a few hundred of us. They are nearly 4,000 strong.
Now, one of the most unforgettable events in history becomes the motion picture event of the year.
Here they come!
We're gonna need a lot more men.
On April 9th, ordinary men will become heroes.
Perhaps they'll only execute the officers. I think we all just got promoted.
The Alamo, rated PG-13, starts April 9th in theaters everywhere.
Honey, how about some nice fresh lemonade?
The 500 horsepower Dodge Ram SRT-10.
Hi, Ryan.
Hey. The fastest production truck in the world.
NBC Monday.
No.
It's finally here. The Fear Factor couples finale.
Come on.
What will they do for $1 million? This one's as creepy as it gets.
I really don't want to do this. Oh my God.
The Fear Factor couples $1 million finale. NBC Monday.
NBC Sports live coverage of the Daytona 500. From Daytona Beach, Florida, glorious afternoon, 200,000, including the President of the United States on hand. Watching a pretty good stock car race with Tony Stewart leading. A lot of lead changes so far, and a very heavy fight for the race lead.
I think Junior right now in the 8 car, the white 8, is backing up to the 48. See if those two guys can't get together and make a run on this front 2.
12 lead changes today among 6 drivers in the inaugural championship race for the new NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. New series sponsor getting a pretty good inauguration today.
Yeah, but just can't. I don't think the 48 can hang there, Benny. See Jeff Gordon taking a look right now. I don't know if Jimmy Johnson can run that bottom line like the 8 car of Dale Jr.
I talked to Brian Watzel this morning and also Chad Canals, crew chief on the 48. You'd think that the 48-24, the chassis would be identical, right? totally different.
Oh, I know.
Totally different.
When I drove there, all the cars were different.
BP, I know you've missed this. You had a little time off at the holidays. I know you've missed this.
Yeah.
It's time.
Cue the duck.
Very good. I knew you'd catch on if I set you up that way. Time for the Aflac NASCAR Nextel Cup Trivia Quiz. And this won't be much of a quiz for BP. Who led the fewest laps in winning the Daytona 500?
I know.
Go ahead.
That'd be BP.
Yes, it was. Want to tell us the story?
Well, actually, it was the last 2 laps that I took the lead. Pearson spun coming off turn 2 on the 190, working 198. And so I led those 2 laps, and I don't know where I led those other 2.
Somewhere during pit stops earlier in the race. You started way back in 32nd that day. Benny Parsons, 1975 Daytona 500 winner and a race for 3rd place.
Yeah, 48. And just when I said he couldn't run the bottom, he passes on the bottom.
I think Junior backed up a little bit too much to get that run.
He's got 3 guys lined up now. Jeff Gordon. Oh, Dave Blaney. Now who's that jump down below?
That's Kurt Busch, who's not on the lead lap.
He's not on the lead lap, but he has a fast race car right now.
And he is in position to get back on the lead lap if the caution comes out. He's the first car not on the lead lap in scoring. We haven't had a chance to do this yet in this very action-packed Daytona 500, but let's do it now. How about a top 10 through the field? We start with the race leader, Tony Stewart and Dave Burns.
Well, BP led that 1 lap. It looks like Tony Stewart may lead a lot of laps this afternoon. Remember, Alan, one thing that you mentioned with that repair, one thing you didn't mention, was just how far the rear end of that car was knocked over. 6 inches, Greg Zipadelli told me. That's a lot anywhere, especially here at Daytona. Bill?
Greg Biffle wanted to follow the 20, so he tried to fall in line. He's going to try and latch onto his bumper and draft around this 2.5-mile track. Was the pole sitter, had to start at the rear of the field, currently second, Matt.
2 Hendrick teammates, Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, running 3rd and 4th. Jimmy says his car is back to almost neutral after that significant chassis adjustments a few stops ago. Just a fresh stick of gum. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon says his car is running very well right now. No complaints. He's just riding in traffic, Bill.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. lost a few positions trying to battle it back. Car tightening up just a little bit, as it has a tendency to do late in the run. Look for them on pit road around lap 110. Just an outstanding run for the 23 car of Dave Blaney. Alan told you the story, the sponsor only for this race. We've had feel-good stories of the Daytona 500 that ended after 490 laps. We'll see if Dave Blaney can get to lap 500, Dave.
Bill, they felt like Dave Blaney's car was actually better than Scott Wimmer's before the race. In fact, Bill Davis said, don't be surprised if the 23 is painted cat yellow and black for Talladega. But right now, they have worked the tightness out of the race car, Marty, and Scott says that car is very strong.
Matt, the 17 team has gotten it done on pit road today, but on the last stop, Russ Strupp's jack broke. It took him 7 pumps, normally about 2 pumps, to get the car up in the air. He fell back in the field. Now he's made his way back up to 8th. Dave?
Kevin Harvick's car was tight, then it got better, and now his car is running hot. They're going to have to take some tape off the grill. They will make a chassis adjustment to compensate for that, because if you only take tape off the grill, it would get tight again. For the 38 of Elliott Sadler, well, his car's tight too. Goes into the corner, tries to turn the steering wheel, wants to push up toward the wall. They'll need to make a chassis adjustment when he comes in around lap 102 or 103. Alan?
Cars at the very front of this pack here in the Daytona 500 as we've just crossed halfway, 250 miles down in the 46th running of the Great American Race. And the leader at halfway has not won the last 11 500s.
3 wide.
And Biffle pushed or something off turn 2 and allowed all those cars to get such a terrific run on him. Here comes Blaney.
Kind of getting late on this set of tires.
But they're going to be making a pit stop here in a couple of laps, according to Dave Burns.
Yep. So Biffle loses 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and slides back in line 5th, just ahead of Dave Blaney. You know, it's funny, earlier in the race, or earlier in the week, a lot of talk about teammates working together. We see Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson lined up nose to tail there. Michael Waltrip, while he was in the race, never really able to get up and work with Dale Earnhardt Jr., but Tony Stewart and Jr. have seemed like very willing partners throughout this day, even though they don't race for the same team.
Well, they were teammates in the 24-hour race 2 Sundays ago. And I think that those guys are pretty doggone special relationship with each other. Don't you think, Bill?
Absolutely. In fact, it's so special, especially on the track today, Benny, that Earnhardt was going to stay out to lap 111. Stewart cannot run that long. The 8 will pit with the 20. It's the only car they can run with.
Third place, driver 8, trying to get around Jeff Gordon in the 24.
Boy, and Jeff's got no help. He's hung out to dry, as we talk about. And he's probably going to get passed by all of these cars when somebody jumps up behind him.
I want you to keep an eye on the 97 car toward the end of that group. Next to last car on the inside, Kurt Busch. He was 2 laps down. Remember earlier, he and Dale Earnhardt Jr. clanged off each other, and Kurt had to make a green flag pit stop for repairs. He made up one of those 2 laps on the racetrack. He's now the first car 1 lap down. Obviously, he's as fast as the leaders. If he can get back on the lead lap, he could be in the hunt for this win when we wind this thing down toward the checkered flag.
109. I'd rather let's do 109 with the 48 and the 24.
Right on, Bart.
That was Robin.
It's Doug Richard.
Doug Richard, the crew chief for Greg Biffle. Matt, what about the 48?
VP moments ago, Brad Parrott was down, climbed atop the Lowe's pit box and was talking to Chad Knaus. Chad really wanted to come on lap 107, made a deal to come on lap 109 with Biffle. That's the plan, at least.
Right now we see some hands out the window. There's Dale Jr. throwing his hand out the window. I'm not sure what he was telling Greg Biffle, but
my guess is he was telling him I was going to make a pit stop. I'm going to make a pit stop. Don't run over me.
Remember the last time they pitted under green? Tony Stewart passed Dale Jr. on the slowdown to the pit lane. Let's see what happens this time. Stewart, Jr., Biffle. 55 miles an hour is the pit lane speed limit by that cone. And some others following them in, including Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, and Ricky Craven. Dave?
Crew Chief Greg Zipadelli asked Tony if he needed anything. Tony said, nope, just give me the 4 tires and the fuel. They will send him back out with friends who came in with him. Bill?
It'll be 4 tires for Dale Earnhardt Jr. They'll fill it full of fuel. Again, he wanted to pit with the 20. The 16 latched on with that, so the 16, which was talking about coming with a 24, and the 48 came with the 20 and the 8.
Oh, Tony got out a lot quicker than the 8 car of Dale Jr. and Biffle, so they may be able to catch him.
He's coming to the start-finish line as these cars just leave the pit lane and try to get these restricted engines up to full song. Here comes the leader there, 48 car of Johnson.
And it takes forever. Seems like it takes forever to get, especially when you look up in the mirror and see the leaders coming to full speed.
If you're new to NASCAR, they put a plate between the carburetor and the manifold to restrict the amount of air that goes into these engines in order to control speeds. Otherwise, the cars would probably be doing about 230 miles an hour, and they just fly up into the air too easily. It creates a very unsafe condition.
Yeah, Michael Waltrip only turned over, what, 3 times on the backstretch? Unrestricted, did it probably turned over 30 times.
The guys that just came off the pit lane and the lead pack. Let's open up the Home Depot Virtual Garage. We talk about the restricted engine package and the high speeds here at Daytona. That makes something we call drafting king.
That's the air that you see. You can't see, but that's the air as you go down the straightaway. And you see the void behind the car that our NBC car pulls up behind. It's so much easier to run behind that Home Depot car and run in that void. You're able to drive by that lead car because the back car, literally, the air pushes the front car forward.
The big vacuum. And that's the draft that's so dominant here at Daytona. Here come the pit stops for Jimmy Johnson and the other front runners. Whoa, Dave Blaney hard on the brakes. Kurt Busch coming with the leaders. Jeff Gordon, Scott Wimmer, Kevin Harvick. Most of the rest of this lead pack going to dive in. Stops will come at the conclusion of lap 108. Jimmy Johnson pitting all the way down toward the turn 1 end of the pit road. Go ahead, Dave.
Elliott Sadler's car was tight. The guys will go to the right side, change those tires. Air pressure adjustment to help Elliott's condition. Bill?
Blaney had to lock him up and put it right on the pit board sign, just what his crew chief wanted. 4 tires, fuel, no adjustments, Matt.
A clean grill for Jimmy Johnson. A little bit of slow work on the left rear. An air pressure adjustment. His car was still tight, although it had gotten better with the last adjustment, still tight. An air pressure adjustment for Jeff Gordon. He says when the car bump tracks him, he gets really loose.
Now
1 pound in the right front, Alan.
All right, Matt, here come Stewart and Biffle and Earnhardt Jr. blowing right past these guys, just getting up to speed off the pit lane.
Well, see, they've been out there with 2 or 3 laps with fresher tires, and they're able to run probably a second a lap faster because of those newer tires. Marty?
Matt Kenseth's car, BP, is a little bit too loose at the start of the run. A pound out of the right rear tire, a half pound out of the left front tire, trying to tighten it up. He said the draft's getting a little crazy out there right now.
Well, he doesn't have any help right now with him leaving pit lane.
But when he gets up to speed, he's going to blend into some of that traffic that's coming by him if he can.
Well, he's going to have to get up to speed pretty quick.
Yeah, if he can catch it, just, well, not the first group, but that second group, maybe the 24 and some of those guys. So John Andretti is now the leader of the Daytona 500, having not made a pit stop yet. Then Jeremy Mayfield, who is not pitted. And then you'll get back around to Tony Stewart.
Now these guys need just to stay in line.
Yeah.
Just stay in line, 3-car draft. There's nobody real close to them. They're going fast right now. As soon as these guys start racing each other, that group behind them is going to catch them.
John Andretti has just been on and off pit road in the 1 car. Now here comes Jeremy Mayfield to the pit lane for his stop. And that'll turn the race lead back into the hands of Tony Stewart. Here's Mayfield's stop, Dave.
And Jeremy's been working mostly on aero all day, guys. That left front, they replaced a whole side of the car, the front of that nose. And then they were thinking about replacing the right front as well, but they've basically been trying to massage that all day. They'll make another 4-tire stop here, get Jeremy on his way.
And Mayfield's got that same problem we were talking about Kenseth having. He's a Lone Ranger right now.
Now these guys are running about the same time there, BP. Stewart 47.8, and then Gordon in that second pack 47.8.
Yeah, so but there's a huge gap of about 100 yards between the 2 groups. You're right. While if those 3 guys just stay in line, have another great pit stop, and they can decide the Daytona 500 amongst the 3 of them and not let these other guys back in the race.
Hey, Benny, that might be a problem for the 16. He has to continually move that car just a little bit out of the draft. He needs to get air into the engine compartment, continues to run hot. Remember, while we talked earlier in the race, he saw 250 as a temperature. It gets hot if he tucks in for too long.
And you're right, Bill. If he does have to do that and he keeps breaking that draft so it's not really tight, that will cause them to go slower. And we're watching it right now. He's weaving back and forth to try to get some air in that radiator to cool that car off.
Coming up on 300 miles in the Daytona 500, Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, Dale Earnhardt Jr. make up the lead draft. Stewart's guys getting the job done on their pit stop, holding on to the top spot in the Great American Race.
Come on, baby, first down.
Earnhardt.
Yeah, coach.
You're in.
He got 8! He got 8!
Walkie-talkies get it done. Nextel.
Why do I pick Enterprise? Because of Maylene, who answers the phone, Alex, who picks me up, and Michelle, who makes renting easy. So all I have to do is drive.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. Tonight, it's the premiere of Shrek on NBC.
Idiots!
Oh, that's not very nice. It's just a donkey.
Shrek, NBC tonight, 7/6 Central.
Earnhardt Jr. takes over Wallace as we head into the final.
Racing will never be the same with exclusive content on AOL and Track Pass on NASCAR.com.
Earnhardt Jr. takes over Wallace as we head into the final laps. It's been a great race today, folks, and they're heading down the finals right away.
So are you finished?
Okay, NASCAR fan, what's your next move?
Technically, there's 3 laps left. And a victory lap.
Ooh, should have turned Daddy on to Track Pass and exclusive racing content on AOL and NASCAR.com.
Uh-oh. Looks like those petty boys are up to it again.
kicking up muddy rooster tails all over this county. Good thing they've got a new massively improved Brawny. Strong, absorbent, even soft to the touch. Yep, doesn't miss a thing. Same can't be said for that old officer. Man, that's versatile. That's Brawny.
NBC's coverage of the Daytona 500 is brought to you by Nextel, coast-to-coast walkie-talkies in under a second. NASCAR and Nextel, partners in speed. By Lowe's, where you'll find all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, improving home improvement. By the next Ford F-150, 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. And by AOL 9.0, now with top speed technology.
Just a moment ago, at the Daytona Beach International Airport, behind the backstretch of the racetrack, Air Force One departing the premises. President of the United States on hand to get this Daytona 500 underway, and now heading back to attend to the business of the nation. Bill, pretty exciting day for you, huh?
Yeah, it was a great day. I'll tell you who else had a great day is Greg Martin, who's the utility man for the 18 car of Bobby Labonte. He's the senior instructor at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. Benny, you did a story on him last year, remember?
I remember.
In Brunswick, Georgia. He told me that about 90% of the people on the president's detail have been through his training center. So he knew about 90% of them. He teaches emergency driving techniques to agents and other kinds of things. So it's a big day for him seeing those guys here today.
That's fantastic. That was a great piece we did with Greg Martin, Bobby Labonte.
Tell you who's got a great piece here is Kurt Busch. Remember we talked about him being the first car lap down. He has pulled the second group up to the lead 3 and is literally knocking on Earnhardt Jr.'s bumper.
And look at how much of a gap Earnhardt Jr. got to close up on the 16th because of that bump.
And Biffle the last 2 times has struggled getting in turn 3. I don't know if he's laying back to try to get a run or what he's doing.
It looks like he does, BP, because he really catches him right here. Yeah. He just needs somebody to go with him right now if he pulled out. But I think he knows if he pulls out, Dale Jr. is going to go behind the 20 car of Tony Stewart.
Wow, Stewart up the hill. Lap car Jeremy Mayfield there. That's why they're going to overtake him. I would not think that if Kurt Busch has caught them with that kind. Oh, Dale Earnhardt Jr. gets a run on Greg Biffle for second place with Kurt Busch's push.
Yeah, now Busch is going to go with his teammate, I believe, which is Greg Biffle, and that's exactly what he did.
And all those other guys are saying, let's don't help Junior because his car is too fast. Get him behind us. Maybe we'll have a chance.
Exactly.
I was just, what the thought I started to say is, I can't imagine Kurt Busch. It's been so long since we've had a caution. He's not going to wait on that lucky dog thing. If he can find a way to get a push from Jeff Gordon and some of these other guys up and around Tony Stewart to get on the end of the lead lap, he's going to try it.
Well, what he's going to do is he's going to help push his teammate up to the lead. And once he does that, maybe Biffle will give him a little bit of a wave. Because the car is obviously fast enough, it's not going to hold Biffle up if he lets him go.
Jeff Gordon.
There's a couple other teammates working against the 8-car Dale Jr. That's one thing Dale doesn't have. He doesn't have a teammate out there. He has no friends.
This is for third place. Well, Tony Stewart's been his best friend so far today, but he's separated from him for this last little while.
Boy, they're all lined up against Dale Jr. on the outside. And Harvick drops down. Maybe I'll try to help you.
While we watch this, let's check out our Levitra top performers. Drivers who have done a lot of the leading today. Tony Stewart led the most laps. Earnhardt Jr. the second most. And they're still very much in contention to win this Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick getting into the play here.
Another good reason for Biffle to get out front is to get that radiator cooled down.
Scott Wimmer, how about that 22 car behind this group hanging on with these guys? Matt?
BP back in 2002 when Bill Davis saw his Cat Dodge win the Daytona 500. It went into Daytona USA, spent a year there with the confetti and champagne. They wheeled it out and they put it right in their showroom with the champagne and confetti still on it. It is still there to this day. They would love to add another one. Rookie Scott Wimmer having a wonderful day. He just dropped from 6th to 7th. Bill told me earlier in the week that Scott was almost playing it too conservative, not wanting to make a mistake, and he still wants to earn a lot of respect. He's certainly doing that here today, having a very cautious but very solid run.
Scott Wimmer, one of the rookie drivers on the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series in 2004. Very solid drive so far in Bill Davis's 22. Tony Stewart is the race leader, 300 miles complete in the 46 Daytona 500.
Dear Darryl, we heard you're running with Toyota Power. So how do you like your new truck? Eddie Connor, Westboro, Mass.
It's a big, fast, tough truck. What's not to like? Sincerely, Darryl Walton.
Brought to you by Toyota, the newest member of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and proud of it.
For race car driver Ward Burton, one of the benefits of driving the Net Zero high-speed car is he gets his very own high-speed internet service. With Net Zero High Speed, he surfs the web up to 5 times faster. Yeah, Ward gets all the speed he can handle, and he's not afraid of speed.
It's this logo thing that's starting to scare me.
Get Net Zero High Speed for just $14.95 at netzero.com.
I have got to have a talk with those boys.
We build over 700 engines a year with a staff of 70 people. The biggest problem we face is friction. It robs us of power.
We're looking for 2 things: getting the most available power and keeping the engine alive.
One of the simplest ways to reduce friction in an engine is to use Quaker State, engineered to deliver a 10% lower coefficient of friction.
In the last 7 years, we've been fortunate enough to win 8 championships, and Quaker State helped us get there.
The power to reduce friction.
Every coach knows the ability to stay in the game is what counts. So if you want to stay in the game, don't let anything hold you back. Take action to stay in the game. Ask about Levitra.
Ask your doctor for free sample is right for you. Levitra, stay in the game.
Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Levitra. Levitra works for me. See if it'll work for you.
What are we racing for anyway?
Let's race for a Coke.
Yeah.
Drivers ready. Go!
Got some horsepower, Bobby. Come on, DJ, get out of the way. Sorry, Kyle. No problem.
White flag lap.
Hey, Kevin, we need you in the pit. Sorry about your little car, Tony.
Think these walls are tough? Check out These Walls. The AFL on NBC next Sunday, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific.
Earnhardt Jr. takes over Wallace as we head into the final.
Racing will never be the same with exclusive content on AOL and Track Pass on NASCAR.com.
Trading positions and almost trading some paint on the lead group as we come back to the 46th running of the Daytona 500 live from Daytona Beach, Florida on NBC Sports. Just past 300 miles, Tony Stewart has been out in front most of this day. Dale Earnhardt Jr. right there with him, now running second after Greg Biffle was shuffled back from that runner-up spot just a second ago. See Biffle kind of hung there in that outside lane. Cars beginning to draft by him. Scott Wimmer in the 22 goes to third. Here comes Kevin Harvick in the 29 to fourth.
And Biffle's just having a hard time staying in the draft. He can stay in the draft. I think he has a car, but it's just running hot. He's got to get that car out in the air, and that's killing him in the draft. Dave.
I'm with Jimmy Fettig, crew chief for the 97. Jimmy, we've seen your car come up through now. If you can get back on the lead lap, can it lead and can it win?
Yeah, I mean, we got a pretty good car right there right now. We had a misfortune with the 8 car early on, but let's hope we get a yellow or something to get us back on this lead lap because we got a fast car.
All right, one of his guys leaned over to me and said, hey, when you're done with that interview, throw that microphone on the track. We need a caution.
NASCAR just issued a blocking warning to Tony Stewart a couple of laps ago. And we'll show you why. Greg Biffle Got a little run at Stewart for the race lead off the start-finish line tri-oval, and
wow, got a heck of a run.
And that's the move he was trying to work up to. He wanted to pass him in the tri-oval. Then he got out of line. Tony wouldn't let him by, and then he started losing spots.
Got no help in that outside lane. There's that 97 of Kurt Busch. You just heard from his crew chief, Jimmy Fennig, there, running the first car one lap down, unfortunately in 20th place.
Wow, the car is fast.
Been a while since we had a caution. Last one was at lap 72. For that big mess in the back straightaway.
And here comes Wimmer. Let's don't forget about that 22 car.
You're talking about blocking and NASCAR issuing a warning. It's a very, very fine line between putting a successful defense of a position on someone and blocking them and causing a wreck.
Okay.
And that, well, I mean, you know, from a driver's perspective, it's a very fine line, right?
Well, it is, but, you know, that's one of those things that you just have to do here as a driver, is you have to drive in your mirror as much as you do out the windshield because of the type of racing you have. And what you're saying is you don't want to get into a situation where you put on a block and put the guy up in the wall when you do that. So, yeah, you're right. It is a fine line, but you have to do it.
So now the two drivers that have really worked fairly successfully together in the draft all day, Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr., lined up once again 1 and 2. With Scott Wimmer, Kevin Harvick, and Greg Biffle now rounding out the top 5. Anything happens, we'll come back live. For now, you're watching NASCAR on NBC.
My haircut is nice. The dye job, it worked. Good. It's good, huh?
Uh-huh. You charge the batteries, right? Yes. And I look good?
Yes. Hey, Dale. We're here for the interview.
Oh, right. Where do y'all want to do it?
You know, wherever you're most comfortable.
Thanks, guys.
Meat! Pepperoni! Green pepperoni!
Guys, stop fighting! I've got the new Pizza Hut 4-for-all. 1, 2, 3, 4 pizzas in one. You can all get what you want. And I've got green peppers just for you, Kermie.
Jessica.
Kermie.
The amazing new 4-for-all pizza from Pizza Hut for only $11.99.
Jessica.
Step away from the frog! Bye-bye. Gather round the good stuff!
Inside those cars is something familiar. A battery. And if you think all batteries are the same, consider this. Kevin Harvick's pit crew trusts one brand of battery in every critical instrument they use. Duracell. So whether you're racing NASCAR's best or the kid down the street, it just has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Duracell, official alkaline battery of NASCAR.
NBC's coverage of the Daytona 500 is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months, an American revolution. By Budweiser, it's time for a fresh one. Grab a Budweiser, the race is on. By Discover Card and their new cashback bonus program. It pays to discover. And by UPS, the official express delivery company of NASCAR. UPS, we want to race the truck. People love the truck.
68 laps to go in the 2004 running of the Daytona 500. Tony Stewart leading Dale Earnhardt Jr., Scott Wimmer, Kevin Harvick, and Greg Biffle. None of those drivers have ever won the Great American Race before. A couple things to update you on. Some drivers who were involved in earlier crashes have come back onto the track. Rusty Wallace, Scott Riggs, Derek Cope, Ryan Newman, and Sterling Marlin are all back in action, as is Jeff Green. Marlin, though, just been shown the black flag by NASCAR for not meeting the minimum speed requirement with his repaired car.
And when I saw his car come down pit road, I realized he was not going to meet the minimum. All he was trying to do was just get a few more laps.
What a day for Scott Wimmer, running third, Matt.
Scott Wimmer, a rookie, but driving like a veteran and thinking like a veteran. He's managing his race. Talking to crew chief Frank Stoddard, they're expecting a pit around lap 140. Frank said, "What changes do you want?" Scott said, "I'm afraid to really mess with it. Let's not change anything." But he knows he has one more stop after the one at lap 140, just in case he does need to make an adjustment. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, they were both in the top 5 about 25 laps ago. They both were dropped out, drop kicked back. Gordon trying to work his way back to the front. Jimmy Johnson, he's working on a tight race car right now.
And, you know, as Matt said, it's one thing, too. When you're coming in, especially when you're a rookie, when you come in, you don't want to change too much on that race car because you don't want to lose the guys you came in with. You don't want to take any more extra time in the pits just in case something goes wrong. You lose that group.
The second group headed by Greg Biffle, falling a little bit behind the front 3. A couple of seconds now, the front 4, excuse me. How about the Coca-Cola family of drivers? Faring reasonably well today. 5 in the top 13. Haven't talked a lot about Dale Jarrett and Bobby Labonte, but they are among the 19 drivers on the lead lap. Kyle Petty and Kurt Busch in the top 20 as well. Of course, Michael Waltrip involved in that frightening crash earlier, though he is fine. And Jeff Burton with an early engine failure that put him out of the Daytona 500.
30 car of Johnny Sauter, one of the running wounded around here, trying to just stay out there and make some laps for some Nextel Cup points.
Just kind of doing up some numbers here and thinking about pit stops. We're going to start to see some more green flag pit stops fairly soon for some of these drivers, as Jeff Gordon puts a move on Greg Biffle for 5th place. And Dave Blaney in the 23 tries to go with him.
I think Biffle's just happened to get out of the gas up there.
Yeah, he is. He's really been struggling, that 16 car.
Really tight to 16 now, really tight.
Okay.
And something that might be contributing to that is the wind. We haven't really talked about that, but the wind blowing pretty much directly down the backstretch into turn 3. So when they make that left turn, it's kind of a tailwind, knocking the back end of the car around the middle.
Which just magnifies the problem if you're pushing. All right, that coming soon.
Expecting the leaders potentially this lap.
All right, we've raced 136 laps. They can make on one more stop.
I want to get these guys out of the way. You certainly don't want. Looks like the 50 was waving.
So Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the lap car of Kurt Busch, all hugging that inside line. They're coming to pit road. Scott Wimmer hard on the brakes. Oh, Johnny Sauter! Rifling right through the leaders and blowing the pit road entry big time. Greg Biffle also in. Close call for these leaders.
Oh, man, was that close. Dave.
And trust me, that's frightening from where I stand down here behind a hopefully protective wall. 4 tires for Stewart, no changes, full of fuel. They didn't want to change anything. Certainly didn't want to make it any looser, Tony said. Weber?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. said his car is the best it's been when he's in traffic, but they want to still try and get him out front. Major chassis adjustment, Matt.
They were concerned about possible damage to that right front fender. It was fine. A 4-tire change. He's not going to beat out the 20. They made a ½ pound air pressure adjustment out of that right rear.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., though, kind of separated there. See Stewart, then Kurt Busch, the lap car, then Wimmer, and then a gap. Back to Dale Jr. Here's Jeff Gordon on pit road, Dave Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Joe Nemechek now among the lead group. In the Army car. And now Johnny Sauter coming in to serve a penalty for that little blast through pit road a minute ago. Dave.
Kevin Harvick brings the 29 in. They didn't get all the tape off the nose they wanted to last time. He was running hot, but not too hot. They'll take some more off this time. 4-tire change, no chassis adjustments. Matt?
On the previous lap, Jeff Gordon Dawkins said the 8 is pitting, the 8 is pitting. What do we want to do? Robbie Loomis said stay out for a few more laps. A 4-tire change. Again, Bill, no adjustments for Jeff Gordon.
The 23 of Dave Blaney drag races the 0-1 off of pit road. Cars just a little bit tight all around. Fuel 4 tires. He's off of pit road.
John Andretti, Ward Burton, Brendan Gaughan, and Kyle Petty also pitting on this lap. Now here come Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, and Elliott Sadler, all lead lap cars. Marty?
Not a good sequence for the 17 team. He was supposed to pit with Jeff Gordon. Jeff tricked him, so Matt had to stay out on the track, killed all of his momentum. Then he overshot his stall, had to be pushed back. 4 tires and a track bar adjustment for the 17, Dave.
Elliott Sadler radioed in. The car's going arrow tight. It feels like there's a shock broken or something. Big chassis adjustment for Elliott. Matt?
Big chassis adjustments also for Jimmy Johnson up on the track bar. Also a wedge adjustment. His car still very tight. You can see donuts down the side. It looks more like it's been run in Martinsville.
Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Casey Mears, Ricky Rudd also leaving the pit lane, having just come on for service with that group of cars. Look at the gap from Scott Wimmer back to Dale Jr. as a result of that pit exchange.
And there goes Junior and Biffle by the 24 car of Jeff Gordon. Gordon is going to be able to hook onto these two. Now, these 3 cars might be able to chase down Jimmy Johnson in that group. I mean, I'm talking Tony Stewart in that group.
So the lead is going to go back to Tony Stewart here as these pit stops cycle around. Kyle Petty has just come in to serve a penalty. Dave?
Well, now I don't know what happened. He came in the pit stall, then he went right back out on Kyle Petty. His car's been good all day, guys. My notes all the way down the list reads no changes to the chassis all day long, and apparently there'll be a penalty because he took that catch can with him.
Yeah, he had pitted on the previous lap and apparently took some equipment out of the box, and that's a penalty. So Kyle has just come in and served it, and that's going to hurt.
A stop and go is a huge penalty when you have to come in at 55 miles per hour, stop, and then take off again, and still stay 55 miles per hour.
So through a round of green flag pit stops for the lead lap cars, it spread the front pack out a little bit, but as we saw last time this happened, that second group was able to draft up and catch the first and make it about a 10-11 car race for the lead once again.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason because of that the last time though is because Biffle could not stay tight in line because he was trying to cool that car off. But we'll see what happens with the second group. It's got maybe some more cars in it.
Bill?
Part of the problem with Greg Biffle, he had an equalized left front tire and didn't know it.
Oh, man. Let's see. Junior, the last time by, was about 3/10 of a second faster than his 3 cars in front. So it looks like that Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 8, the 16 of Biffle, and the 24 of Gordon will be able to chase them down.
Another penalty on that round of pit stops. Ward Burton held for a missing lug nut. So costly error there. It's dropped him back to 19th place. Well, Jeff Gordon in a bid for a 3rd Daytona 500 win, a 97 and 99 winner of this race, trying to push Greg Biffle and Dale Earnhardt Jr. back up to the lead few. Remind you to log on to NBCSports.com for much more on the Daytona 500 and on NASCAR. BP's favorite to win the series championship this year, the Nextel Cup. You know, there's been a lot of talk about this new system used to determine the champion, the chase for the championship. I did a little piece on the tracks that will make up that final run to the title in the fall and what you can look for as we get to each one of those later on in the season. NBCSports.com. Tony Stewart in search of his first Daytona 500 win. Out in front with Scott Wimmer in the 22 running second. The 97 car in the middle is Kurt Busch. He is 1 lap down. He's been that way for a long time, hoping for a caution flag that will allow him to get back into contention to win this race. 56 laps to go. Another round of pit stops, and who knows what kind of a finish we'll see. Daytona's known for its late race twists.
I'll call you when I get to LA.
Think you forgot something?
This isn't mine.
That thing's loud. How's it work?
It makes the car go faster.
Yeah, but how does it make the car go faster?
Well, let's say you're going a certain speed. With the top speed technology, it's going a ton faster.
You really don't know how it works, do you?
No.
Top speed technology is up to 5 times faster on dial-up, and it's built into AOL 9.0 optimized. Go to AOL.com.
Watching your carbs was never this easy. Introducing TGI Friday's new Atkins-approved menu. 9 great-tasting, low-carb dishes like creamy Tuscan spinach dip, sizzling strip with crumbled blue cheese, and delicious char-grilled salmon fillet finished with a tangy lemon sauce. Limit the carbs, but not the flavor. Hurry in for the new Atkins-approved menu. Now at TGI Fridays.
Ryan Newman drives just like you. He warms up the car, fights his way through traffic, and hurries home at the end of the day. That's why he depends on Mobile One for advanced wear protection. Nothing outperforms Mobile One, the official motor oil of NASCAR.
No, Bugsy, in our line of work, I'm glad we have that